Hello, so I'm here today to do a drugstore versus luxury video, and so I'm not wearing any makeup on my face right now. It's always terrifying when you're on camera and you're not wearing any makeup on your face, let me tell you that. So what I have over here is I have one of everything I'll be using today for drugstore, then I'll have one of everything that I'm using today luxury. My plan is to split my face in half and apply one on one side, one on the other, and we'll see how the look turns out. So I've done my best to kind of take my drugstore products that I have and pair it up with something that I think is really comparable to a luxury and vice versa. So an example is I'll be using e.l.f.'s Illuminating Face Primer, and then I'll also be using the Becca Backlight Priming Filter. So these are both kind of more illuminating primers, and I've kind of done that with everything. So we'll have a very good kind of test to see which one is better. So I'm going to get started here. So I'm just going to go and take my primer, and I've designated this half of my face as my drugstore side of my face. So I'm going to take that on that hand, and then the Becca on the other. And I think this is going to be very interesting. Hopefully I don't mess up and put something on the wrong side. So I have a little bit of each, and let's get started. So this is going to be very interesting to see how it turns out. So as you can already see, the e.l.f. one is very golden, where the Becca one is just, it blends in a lot better. At least if I put it on each hand, I think that'll make it a lot easier. So overall, my impression rubbing this in is the e.l.f. one is actually a lot smoother and just makes my hand, it like just rubs easier, which is kind of weird. You'd think the Becca one would be better. Okay, so I'm done with the primer. So next I'm going to color correct. So I have NYX's HD Concealer in green and the Genesis color correcting drops. So this one, I don't think I can use both hands at the same time. So I'll go in, I'll take my right hand, and I'll put some right over there, some on my acne. My nose is a little bit red. A little bit right here, even though that's kind of, there we go, now it's even. A little bit, I'm very red today. So the next one I'm going to try is the NYX on the other side of my face. Let's do here. And put some right here. And then, what else am I red? A little bit right there. You know, this doe foot applicator makes it really, really easy to do this. The Genesis one isn't as easy. So I'm just going to take my finger and kind of dab that in. So thoughts are, this one's way greener, this one's way lighter, so I think this one's going to be easier to blend. The next one still does a really good job of kind of reducing that redness. So now, I mixed up my hands, but it's okay, I'm just blending it in. So I actually think so far I'm liking this NYX one a lot better. Okay, so next I'm going to go in with my foundations. So for foundations, I'll be using the NYX Invincible on this side and the Clinique Beyond Perfecting. Even though the price difference between these two isn't super high, like this is like $10 and this is like $27, I believe, it's still drugstore versus more luxury. So I am going to actually be using different brushes for different sides of my face. So I'll be using the e.l.f. brush for this one and the Michael Kors, the Marc Jacobs brush on this side. So I'm just going to take a little bit of this Invincible on my hand and kind of just throw it on my face, just because otherwise I don't see how I'm going to do this. So I am going to rub this in and pat it. So far I've been very impressed. I just purchased this foundation last night and I've used it today, and I'm pretty impressed with how it works so far. It gives you like pretty good coverage, like you can already kind of see the difference from face to face. So I can already tell this video is going to be super long. I might have to speed through this. Okay, so that is the NYX on that side. And so on this side it will be the Clinique Having a jumbo doe foot is really, really nice. And I don't know why I put that much on my face. It's a lot of foundation. So now I'm going to take my Marc Jacobs brush. I'm going to kind of rub it in. And one thing I love about this brush is it makes it super quick and easy to apply. And I feel like my nose is going to be just missed due to the fact it's hard to split that one down in the middle. That e.l.f. brush is actually pretty good for being like a couple dollar brush. Okay, so there we go. So we have the NYX on this side and the Clinique on this side, and I can't really tell a difference right now. So the next I'm going to go in with concealer. I'm going to use NYX on this side and Urban Decay Naked on this side. And so for this one, for a brush, I'm actually just going to use a beauty blender, which is kind of not a drugstore item, but I only have the real beauty blender. I do not have a knockoff. Never thought I'd be on camera looking like a clown. So I'm going to take my beauty blender, and I'm going to take it, and I'm going to blend it in. And I will be using this for my eye primer too, so I'm going to take this all the way up here. So this NYX concealer, I think is really good for a $5 concealer. I think it's very similar to the Naked Skin. I'm going to take a little bit, put it there because I'm a little shiny. So pretty much the same. To be fair, I do think this under eye is just a little bit darker. And then for setting powder, I'm going to use Makeup Forever vs. NYX. And I have brushes that I will use for both of these. So I'll use just a Real Techniques brush and then a Sephora brush for setting my under eyes. So I'm using the Set It, Don't Spread It. No, the Set It, Don't Fret It, not Spread It. There we go. Looking good. So at first I didn't really like the NYX because when I did the price comparison, it was actually more expensive than like the Laura Mercier per like ounce that you're paying for. And I just love the Makeup Forever one. Has this little shield that you can just dab your brush into. Makes it so nice and easy. Up here. Sorry, I make some really funny faces. I should always preface my videos that I'm doing where I'm doing makeup is, sorry, I might make a lot of funny faces. So the next for contouring, I am going to be using the Boots Botanics. I did this in my Target haul video. Then I'll be using the Anastasia contour. So I'll start off with my drugstore side of my face. And so I am going to try using my NYX brush that I just bought last night. So I'm going to swirl it around and dab it. Then tap it off. And let's see. I'm going to take it about right here, and I like to angle it down. So the more I use this contour, the more I like it. I'm like, I think it looks very natural. And it blends very easily. I think it looks really good for the price. It's a really nice set. Again, if you haven't seen it, it looks like this. So I'm going to take a little bit and go right under my chin. Kind of gives you that shadow. It makes, I have a big face, so I really need that to make my face look a little bit smaller. And then dab this all the way up here and then stop. All the way back down. Then blend it. That looks pretty nice. Anastasia's got some run for her money. So then for this side contour, I'll be using the Marc Jacobs The Shape brush. And so I am going to take, yeah, I knew it. I'm going to take Fawn, and that will be my contour. You know what? I think I might actually like the boots better than Anastasia. So I'm going to take this. So I always like to just dab my contour on all the way down and then blend it, because when I just start blending, I feel like it always ends up with a lot more product in one spot instead of having it more evenly spread out. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit, do the under the chin. Looking better already. And then up here, and take this down, all the way down, and then blend it in. And I look like I just went to the beach, even though I live in Minnesota. Okay. So overall, I think it's looking really good. I think the biggest difference so far is that primer. I think that e.l.f. one is just super glittery, where I think the Becca one is just a lot more subtle. So for highlighting, I am going to be using the L'Oreal True Match Lumi versus the Hourglass Euphoric Strobe Light. And so for this one, I will be going back and using that same brush I used for contouring. So I'm just going to wipe it off here on a paper towel, and I sprayed it. And so I'm going to go in with this. It's this really pretty shimmery shade. I'm going to just highlight. And I always like to just highlight right here, right above the cheeks of my, and then I like to kind of bring it up here a little bit and go back down. I almost just messed up there, and I almost went to the other side. So I'm going to take this, and I'm going to bring this up here, and I'm going to highlight my brow a little bit. The left side of my Cupid's bow. And then so for this side, I'm going to use the Hourglass Euphoric. Look how pretty that is. Yeah, pretty. I'm going to take my Sephora brush that I used for setting my under eyes before. Take all of it. Right side's Cupid's bow. And then so for eyes, I will be doing the Milani, what is it, Everyday Eyes, this palette right here. And in the luxury corner, I will be, wow, this one got beat up. I will be doing the Naked. So let's start off with the drugstore side. So I'll start off by just doing kind of this more nude shade just all over the eye. It's going to go all over. And this brush is like 99 cents. Can't beat it. Okay. I'm going to blend that in. Just blended my eyebrow. So that is blended in. So then on this side over here, I am going to use Tease in the Naked 2 palette. And I'm going to blend this, and I'm using a Sigma E40 brush for this side. This is definitely more of a blending brush opposed to that Wet n Wild. So much easier. You know, you can't actually really tell the difference, and I think that's kind of the point of doing these videos, is to see, is there a difference between drugstore and luxury. So then for this side, I'm going to take this color right here and put that in my crease. So this will be really interesting doing that with this fluffy brush. Tap the excess off, start right in the crease here, and go back and forth, try and blend that in. And one thing I've kind of realized when you blend into the crease, it really kind of makes your eye just pop a little bit more. Tap, tap, tap. Tap. And let's blend it in. This is not really a good tapered crease brush, but I'll make do. So there we go with that one. And then so for this one, I'll take my Japanesque brush, and I will take the color, let's go with this darker Sneak Bite. There's not a ton of like matte shades in here, and I'll mix a little bit of that with Tease that I used all over my eye. So let's take this I think so far the biggest thing I've noticed is that the brushes are making the biggest difference for me and just for application. The product feels the same and kind of looks the same once it's on, but just like the tools that you use, I think it's really important. So then for on the lid, I'll use this kind of sparkly color. It's a really pretty color. I'll just kind of take that from like the middle all the way out. It's very pretty. Very pretty. So, and luckily I have like almost the exact same color over here. It is this one right there, and it is called YDK. What does YDK mean? I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know. So then I'm going to just take this and just put this on that 3/4 of my outer eye. And then for that inner, I'm going to take this one right here, which is this white shade. I'm going to use that as my inner shade. And then I'll do the same. I'll take Ver right here, which I'm almost out of, unfortunately. It's my favorite. So it kind of gives the inner corners a little bit of pop, and we're almost done. So my next one that I'm doing is the NYX Sculpt and Highlight versus the Anastasia Brow Definer. So I'm going to use the spoolie from the Anastasia and kind of get both eyes ready. So this is going to be a struggle without a close-up mirror. I'm using a mirror that's kind of far away. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to kind of, what I like to do is I like to start by just defining the upper part of my eye. So now that that's kind of more defined, I will go and I will kind of line the underside. And that just kind of gives it a little bit more definition. And then I like to go in, just kind of fill it a little bit. And so I'll definitely need to take that spoolie, because when you use a lot of product, the spoolie helps to kind of blend it and brush it through. And just kind of make it look a little bit nicer. It's okay. I don't know, I think I definitely like the Anastasia better. And I'll take the brow highlight and rub it in. Definitely, I think it definitely is better than nothing, but I don't really like it. So then for the Anastasia, I'm using the brow definer. It looks like this. So I'll go in, I'm going to do the same thing. I'll go on a line the top right here. Then I'll go and kind of do the bottom. I'll kind of fill in this front part here. I definitely think one of my brows is better than my other brow. Like just like my natural, like I have more hair, it's just shaped better. I don't know how that happens. Okay, so I'm just gonna say that's good for the brows. This one's looking a little wonky. So then the second to last step is eyeliner. I'll use the Jordana Fabuliner for this eye and the Art Liner for this eye. I'm coming really close, really slowly. Gonna carry this line over. And so one thing that I've realized with the Jordana eyeliners is this one was like super cheap. I've had it for maybe 3 weeks and it's already like drying out. It's like, and I always keep my cap on it. So I don't know if I just need to like store it upside down or something, but like it doesn't shake. It's not one of those really shakeable ones either. So on this side I'll use the Art Liner. This one does shake. And the Art Liner is definitely becoming my favorite eyeliner. Liquid eyeliner. The color payoff is just so much better, and I messed up there. So I'm going to go for a bolder eye look than I was planning on going. So the thing with the art liner is like you have so much control over it. Like you really have to like be careful and draw it because it is super intense. So for mascaras, I'm going to do the Fabulous False Fiber Lashes from, I believe it's Revlon. Doesn't actually say it. And then I'll use the Lancome Hypnose on my other eye. This is a super long video. So over here, please ignore that Jordana liquid eyeliner. It's one of the few drugstore liquid eyeliners I have. That's one of the things I just think is worth splurging on. So I've always been very impressed with this mascara. Trying to do some of my lower lashes. I've always been impressed. Like it looks, like that looks pretty good. Yeah. Then for the Hypnose. No, I'm thinking it's not quite as good. Still pretty good. So let's kind of compare. So that is everything. So I don't even really think you can tell. So I do need to set my face. But since I'm probably not going anywhere, I don't really need it to last. But do you guys see any noticeable difference? Like, I do feel like that primer just made the biggest difference, and also the tools. So overall, I think that you can definitely achieve like the same looks with drugstore products. To me, I just believe that the longevity of the product and how long it's going to last is not always going to be as good as a luxury brand. But there are some things, like I think that these concealers are both amazing. And this one's $5. I do think that when it comes to brushes, like when I was applying my foundation, I feel like normally it would take me 2 to 3 times as long to put my foundation on as it did with this brush. So my opinion is brushes make the biggest difference. Makeup, you know, if you find the right kind of makeup, like these are all items that I've used for a while and I love, so I knew they would be pretty good, minus that Jordana eyeliner. So I think it just kind of really, there's a lot of different variables, but I think it's a tie. I think that just for overall appearance, I do think that the Anastasia was easier to use. I think the Jordana eyeliner was not very good. I think both mascaras were really good. I think the concealers were both good. The eyeshadows, that Milani one is really good. I think it really compares to the Urban Decay. So that is my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions, let me know. Like it, subscribe. I definitely enjoy doing this. So I hope you enjoyed. Yeah. So this is drugstore and this is non-drugstore. So overall, I think it was pretty good. So I hope you enjoyed. Bye.